Good afternoon. Thanks for staying with us on Citizen FM Abuja. Here's the news at midday. I'm Rayo Omotosho. President Muhammadu Buhari has unveiled the redesigned Naira notes. Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, had on Tuesday said the president will unveil the newly designed 1,500 and 200 notes. The unveiling marks the first time in 19 years Nigeria will redesign its currency notes. At a briefing after the ceremony before the Federal Executive Council meeting, the CBN Governor, Godwin Emefiele, debunked insinuations that the early unveiling of new notes is a means to target Nigerians. He appealed to members of the public that there is no need to perpetuate any such information. Meanwhile, the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has voted to increase the benchmark interest rate by 100 basis points to 16.5%, the highest since 2001. CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele disclosed this while reading the communique of the last MPC meeting on year-on-year, Tuesday, November 22nd, 2022. The MPC said the tightening would curb a higher rate of inflation and restore investors' confidence. According to a report by Nairametrics, the highlights of the MPC meeting included increased MPR by 100 basis points to 16.5%. The CRR was retained at 32.5%, while the liquidity ratio was also kept at 30%.
The IMF have downgraded for 2022 and 2023 several times, retained global output growth at 3.2% for 2022, but further downgraded the 2023 forecast to 2.7% compared to 2.9% in its July 2022 forecast. Inflation across several advanced economies is expected to remain elevated in 2022, despite progressive rate hikes by several central banks in these economies. This is predicated on sustained high energy prices associated with the Ukraine war and...
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has inaugurated the commercial production of crude oil and gas from the Kulmani Integrated Development Project, located along the fields of Gombe and Bauchi. The Kulmani project, with oil prospecting license 809 and 810, lies in the Gongola Basin of the Upper Benue Trough, straddling the two northern states. The field, according to its promoters, is to start producing about 50,000 barrels of crude oil per day and holds over 1 billion barrels of crude oil reserves, shooting up Nigeria's oil reserves to over 38 billion barrels. In his address at the event, President Buhari said the facility attracted $3 billion worth of investments despite the lack of appetite in the oil sector.
To attract the much needed investment, I have directed NNPC to continue along these lines. It is therefore to the credit of this administration that at a time when there is near zero appetite for investment in fossil energy, coupled with the location challenges, we are able to attract investment of over $3 billion United States dollars to this project. This will surely be a reference subject for favorable discussion in the industry, and we pursue the Just Energy Transition Program that will culminate in our country achieving net zero version 1 by their 20.
Bauchi State Governor Senator Bala Muhammad Abdul Kadir and his Gombe State counterpart Muhammad Yahya say the discovery of oil and gas in the state has never been an issue nor a cause of misunderstanding between Bauchi and the neighboring states of Gombe.
Border conflicts or community conflicts as a result of this positive development of the discovery of oil and gas, straddling the boundaries of the two states. Mr. President, all our traditional rulers, the 6 emirs are here, and they are here because they believe that this thing should not cause any difficulty to you to implement. This collaborative agreement will ensure ease of doing business, more revenue generation, protection of communities and environment and investment, among other benefits.
I'm confident that the Northeast has what it takes to avoid the conflicts and mismanagement associated with natural resources exploration as seen in the Niger Delta region. The project will create opportunities for our people across the upstream, midstream, and downstream segments of the oil and gas value chain. Therefore, there will be no source or reason for conflict because all we are after as leaders is for us to source investment and encourage investors to come and put up industries and commercial ventures that will absorb.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says it will constitutionally and legally. It will be constitutionally and legally impossible to resume voter registration before the 2023 elections. INEC had ended the registration exercise in July, but civil society groups have kicked, arguing that the move will disenfranchise millions of Nigerians. On Tuesday, Federal High Court in Abuja reportedly ordered the commission to resume voter registration until 90 days before the election. INEC National Commissioner and Director of Voter Education, Festus Okoye, said the commission is yet to obtain the true certified copies of the court ruling. Mr. Okoye also suggested that voter registration ahead of the 2023 elections was more or less over. The executive governor of Benue State, Samuel Otom, has alleged that the permanent voters' cards are already in the wrong hands ahead of the 2023 general elections in Nigeria. Governor Otom disclosed this while speaking at a roundtable discussion in Abuja. Represented by Special Advisor on Millennium Development Goals, Professor Magdalene Dura, Governor Otom decried a development where illegal migrants who cross the country's borders with arms are also going to vote to decide who becomes president of Nigeria. He urged the government to ensure credibility of the electoral process while expressing concern over the fate of over 2 million citizens of Benue State in internally displaced persons camps rendered homeless as a result of insurgency.
Have not been there for close to 10 years. You go to one council ward, you will not find a single soul. And that is why my governor has been at the forefront of voicing out what is happening to Benue and warning the rest of
the executive governor of Kano State and chairman of the occasion, Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, who commended the organizers for the choice of topic on the eve of the forthcoming general elections in the country, described the topic as very relevant against the prevailing mood on security challenges. Represented by his chief of staff, the head of service, Usman Bala Muhammad, Governor Ganduje allayed the fears of Nigerians, adding that security agencies are prepared for the task ahead of them.
The topic of this discussion is that it is an attempt to look into issues of current security challenges and contemporary approaches to dealing with them as they affect the conduct of the forthcoming elections. The theme is also a call for re-evaluation and reappraisal of the issues and implications arising from the nexus between security challenges in Nigeria and election matters. I believe strongly that an evaluation of the existing situation and for a pardon solution is important in the search for a holistic approach towards ensuring the evolution of an enduring system that works for our dear nation.
The Tertiary Education Trust Fund has said that it has received a shortfall of 68 billion naira in its revenue collection for 2021, used for its operations in the 2022 fiscal year. The Executive Secretary, Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TET Fund, Architect Sonia Chono, made this known at a one-day meeting of the heads of beneficial institutions in public tertiary institutions in Abuja. Echono said the revenue collection of the fund had dropped from 257 billion naira to 189 billion naira, noting that the drop in revenue amounted to 68 billion naira.
We believe that rather than adding new projects, we also try to complete the existing ones and make them work for use. So we are continuing our engagement. We don't start with the number of institutions already that have some of those critical projects. Others have been scheduled between now and the end of the year.
On the foreign scene, a gunman has killed up to 10 people in a Walmart supermarket. A gunman has killed up to 10 people in a Walmart supermarket in Chesapeake in the U.S. state of Virginia, police say. A man believed to be the store manager opened fire, then turned the gun on himself. The city of Chesapeake tweeted police confirm an active shooter incident with fatalities at Walmart. There are few details, but a police officer spoke of for no more than 10 people killed and multiple injured. No motive has emerged. In Japan, one person has been killed and 14 others wounded by two separate explosions that targeted busy bus stops in Jerusalem. Israeli medics say the first blast was reportedly caused by a device left at a bus station on the city's outskirts. It wounded 11 people, one of whom died in the hospital. The second blast came close to a bus stop in another part of the city. It left 3 people with minor injuries. Israeli police say the explosions were suspected Palestinian attacks. And in sports, Olivier Giroud joined Thierry Henry as France's all-time leading goal scorer with a brace as holders France recovered to beat Australia 4-1 and get the defense of the World Cup off to a winning start. Australia took a shock lead at Al Janoub Stadium with the game just 9 minutes old when Craig Goodwin scored. France, whose build-up to the tournament was marred by injuries, saw left-back Lucas Hernandez come off hurt in the move that led to the goal. However, they recovered to equalize through Adrien Rabiot before Giroud put them ahead with an easy finish in the 32nd minute for his 50th international goal. Kylian Mbappe got his name on the score sheet in the second half, and Giroud sealed the win to equal Henry's record tally of 51 goals for France. Meanwhile, Cristiano Ronaldo's controversial second spell at Manchester United is to end with immediate effect, the club announced Tuesday before a report emerged that US-based owners, the Glazer family, could sell the Premier League giants. Portugal forward Ronaldo set the stage for his Old Trafford exit last week with his outspoken television interview on Talk TV, in which he said he felt betrayed by the club and had no respect for the new manager, Erik ten Hag. The club thanks him for his immense contribution across 2 spells at Old Trafford, scoring 145 goals in 346 appearances, and wished him and his family well for the future. And that's the media update here on Citizen FM 93.7. You can listen to us online, visit www.citizenfm.ng or follow us on social media, facebook.com/Citizen FM Abuja, on Twitter at Citizen FM 937. I'm Raya Motosho. Thanks for listening. Good afternoon.